Hi guys, welcome to the video series, and we're on top of Mamtor in Castleton today. As you can see, beautiful day, gorgeous day for it, and I'm here with my friend Tom, who is giving us a little wave. We're going to have a little bit of chat about nutrition and the differences between nutrition with regards to jobs and training goals, etc. I obviously, as a PT, and Tom is a teacher, so both may have different meals and different times along with the day. So we're just gonna have a little bit of chat, leave the camera rolling, and see whether you can pick up on anything and see whether there's anything that you can use for your own diets. So first of all, I guess in terms of nutrition, both like to eat healthy, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's a massive important part for me just to keep myself going, to be able to train and to be able to do the job that I do. Nutrition is so important for me.
Yeah.
And eating good food so I don't get feeling rubbish.
Yeah.
Really.
And then you have to sort of tie into it as well with your goals, don't you? I mean, there's the difference of good nutrition for health, like we were saying earlier, good nutrition for health and good nutrition for performance. At the minute, I will say probably I'm very much performance related in terms of nutrition. I'm enjoying training at the minute, and I want to reflect that sort of with nutrition too. So at the minute I'm very much focused towards just enjoying training for my goal. What
I mean, for me at the moment, I'm kind of at 50-50. I'm still looking at kind of being as optimum as I can with my health, so obviously my food's going to reflect that, but obviously the stuff that I eat, I also want to try and carve a little bit of a physique for myself and keep that and maintain that for me, because that's really, really important. Because of where I've come from, I'm still quite sensitive towards carbs, so I need to make sure I watch that, but also balance performance and enjoy my time in the gym, and not see it as something that I need to hold back on and not be able to push my PBs and enjoy that side of it as well. So for me, it's kind of, my diet at the moment is very kind of 50-50. I'm not too concerned about the stuff that I eat, but then on the other hand, I adapt it when I need to adapt it and when I want to adapt it. But with my lifestyle, I find it very difficult to kind of appropriately weigh and do all that kind of style of nutrition. So I kind of just tend to wing it most days, and it's time is a big issue, and you know, getting stuff done with work is really, really important. And I don't think I have the luxury of kind of sitting down every night and working out what food I need to have, so I tend to just chuck it in a Tupperware and off we go, sort of thing.
And I think that's kind of where we need to make sure, either as trainers or as people who just enjoy training, as members of the public, that we know that if we are sort of winging it, so to speak, and not sort of going down the really scientific method of it, which I've said in a couple of other posts, for me personally, I don't really sort of enjoy the weighing the food side of it. We just really need to be conscious. I would say the main thing is just have a conscious focus of what we're eating, and you know, make sure if we're not calculating the proteins, fats and carb ratios, just making sure that, I don't know, maybe we have a nice even balance with proteins and fats, and then manipulating carbs slightly with regards to goals. Maybe if we're looking for weight loss, just taking them out, and maybe having one carb meal a day or 2 carb meals a day, and relating training towards it as well. You know, if I'm training legs, mainly because it just saps energy out of us, as we know, and because for me it is a mental weak point of mine, to double up on my food intake on a leg day, and on certain training days as well, because you have to take into account your calorie sort of expenditure as well as what you're eating.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I think certainly, like the increase of carbs on a leg day is something that I have really enjoyed doing recently, or on like a big back day or something, sticking in an extra half a sweet potato or a bit more rice sort of thing, is not in a scientific way at all, but just sticking a little bit extra in, even if it's just a mental boost of, even, you know, it's kind of psychological, and you think, I've had more carbs, so I'm going to be performing better, and you do perform better, and you can push your training, and you enjoy it more when you can push it, and you could leave the gym feeling absolutely pumped because you've smashed a PB or something. and that's far better than kind of going in and feeling a little bit depleted and not enjoying it as much. But something that something that certainly my job, I teach 6 lessons a day, and I'm just non-stop going from one lesson to another, and then at break times, lunch times off, I'm dealing with kids and not being able to have my meals, and it's great, but the basic things, drinking enough fluids, I really, really struggle doing, and that's something that I'm having to really kind of focus on at the moment in my life, is making sure that I've got enough fluids in my body, the kind of basic things, enough green vegetables, and that's where I kind of fall up and I come a cropper sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree with you, to be honest with you. I kind of do come a cropper with the veg thing. On some days I don't really get as much veg as I need to get in there. I guess mainly because sort of the focus is more on performance. So maybe I'm a bit too more carb focused with it all, thinking about performance. Another thing I like to do as well is, when it comes to veg, if I know I'm not getting as much veg, I try and incorporate my veg into my snacks. So if I say I don't want to have a really high sort of calorie intake, or if I know I'm not eating enough veg, I'll put the veg in the snacks, and then I do feel like I'm eating something. But obviously I'm not sort of stuffing too many oat cakes or rice cakes or whatever, tuna or rice or whatever people do have for their snacks in there. I think that's a good way to get more veg in your system as well. And then we all know about the green supplements too, and things like that.
Yeah, I always think of green supplements as you should never try and rely on green supplements.
No,
because that's the whole point of supplements is the extra.
Yeah, it's very much an addition, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean they are fantastic, and the days that you do kind of think I haven't had enough greens, they are fantastic just to stick them in, because you haven't got the fibrous qualities to them and the kind of roughage, but from a kind of nutrient point of view, you are kind of covered with that a little bit better than not having them at all, which is really, really important that you are getting those oxidants in there.
Yeah. For health as well as fat loss, though. I mean, we talk about a lot of things, especially as PTs, I guess, where some of us can be quite maybe guilty of at certain times relating things to more fat loss, but we should mention it as for health as well, like we previously said. For health as well, you need the veg in there, and like you've just mentioned, the antioxidants and all the other goodness that you can get in the veg, the goodness that it can do for your thyroid gland. A lot of people now have problems with thyroid, and as well estrogen.
It was something we were talking about earlier on. Yeah.
So the goodness from your green foods and your veg is definitely something that we need to keep getting in the diet, I would say. And I think it's probably one of the hardest things for people to do as well. A lot of people say they like veg, but you see a lot of people who say they eat healthy and they say, I have a lot of chicken, I have a lot of rice, and they don't really have that much veg.
No.
I guess the top tip from today would be eat your veggies and keep it green. Keep it clean.
The greener the better.
But yeah, it is interesting, I think, to get the perspective of two people with different jobs. Yourself as a teacher teaching 6 lessons a day.
I mean, it's really difficult, because I mean, a school is such a melting pot of different ideas, and you've got different characters who are with their kind of own bodies and what they want. There's always the fad diet going around the staff room, and there's always, the cake Fridays and the cake Wednesdays and the cake Mondays, and all of a sudden it turns to every day is cake day. And I think people I'm sure it's the same in most workplaces, people will end up using it a day because it's cake day and end up having cake. And it's so difficult for somebody like myself who wants to try and keep lean and keep focused on a certain kind of a way of sticking away from that, because you can easily get dragged into it's cake Monday for this group and it's cake Tuesday for that group, biscuit Wednesday, and it's kind of really difficult to stay away from those. We were talking on the way up, if you don't involve yourself with those, if you don't, you're kind of seen as a bit boring or a bit negative, and that, I mean, I suppose it's different in the fitness industry. It's kind of a teaching kind of industry. You're not naturally surrounded in teaching profession with people who are similar minded to people like me, who want to lose weight, who want to build a physique, who want to eat clean and push towards optimum health as it is. So it is difficult. But you know, it's one of the challenges that we face. But then when I hit the gym after work, and it's fantastic to be able to perform to our level that I do and enjoy it, and still have the energy to go on and do my lessons and teach as I do.
Yeah, it's sort of good that you've found that sort of balance, isn't it, between a good nutritional intake and enjoying life and enjoying being healthy. And obviously, because I've known you throughout the last year or two, seeing how your physique's changed and seeing that you've not sort of done the extremes and you've maintained happiness throughout that is really good. And I think it's something that a lot of people should push for. And I guess definitely focus towards being happy and being healthy, as opposed to it being necessary that they shed these few pounds. Or like we've said, healthy eating and eating well and being healthy, fat loss is a byproduct of that. So if you are just wanting to eat healthier, just eat the healthy food. You know, change your white potato with tuna for a sweet potato. Change your, maybe change your rice for cauliflower rice.
Or even white rice for brown rice.
Oh yeah, or even white or brown rice.
Yeah.
And just change those little things. You know, instead of buying vegetable packets, you know, just take 5 minutes out of your day and steam some. Or, you know, if you have to, just boil it for 5 minutes. And it's just those little changes and searching for that balance of a healthy life and a sort of a happy life, if you will. And just being focused and remembering your goal, I guess.
I suppose it's really everyone. I mean, I've done the kind of really restrictive diets when I'm on, you know, chicken and asparagus, and for me, looking back on that, sure, I got to a point where I was happy with my physique, but then I kind of look back and that it's not maintainable. That you can't maintain that, and there comes a point where you look at some people that are going for kind of physique comps, and they're really restrictive diets, you know, down to kind of, you know, looking at water depletion and all that sort of stuff, and is that any better from an optimum health point of view than the people who kind of look at things like Herbalife and dare I say those kind of things? And but is it really any better? Because those sort of people, they're still pushing for something that isn't sustainable, and that's not healthy. And whatever kind of diet or way of lifestyle you go for, it has to be maintainable. And I think for long-term goals, you have to kind of look at, can I sustain this over a number of weeks, months, years, decades? Can I pass on the information to my family, my friends, and let their lifestyles develop and them to push for optimum health too? Because that's the end goal, isn't it? You can have a physique now and you can lose it within 6 months, but if you go for optimum health, you can have that for years and years and years.
Yeah. And ultimately, you know, a physique is superficial. Optimum health translates to other people, doesn't it? You see people who are really healthy and really happy, and it translates to your family, maybe you know, your siblings or your other half, so whatever, it translates over, and you attract what you project too. So if you project happiness, you're going to attract happiness. So
yeah,
I think we'll leave it there because the video's getting quite long. Before we go, we're not passing any judgments. You know, guys who do compete in physique, awesome work, you do an amazing job. We're just having a bit of a general chat. Guys who think that it's more important to be healthy, you know, fair play. We live in a world where freedom is an amazing choice that we have, and it's something that we're very lucky to have. So, you know, not passing any judgments, guys, just having a bit of a general chat. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.